News Radio 700 WLW.
Zoom divorce, they're calling it.
Right, and I imagine there's, again, like I said earlier, some positives, but also some negatives. And joining us on the show right now is Jennifer Hargrave. She's a divorce attorney. Jennifer, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thank you for having me. I just want to say I think you guys need to get a new couch.
Bad vibes, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, Jennifer, you know as well as I do, it's either the kitchen table or in bed or the couch. That's where all the arguments go down.
Absolutely. Or the car. Don't forget the car. Yeah, we are definitely seeing, I mean, we are participating in hearings via Zoom, and it's really interesting. I think for me, the good definitely outweighs the bad, and for many of my clients, because we're able to move things forward. The courts have not completely shut down. But an interesting little tidbit is that at least in Texas, our courts are public forums. So people get to go into court and get to sit there and listen to the couples quarrel back and forth. And with the courts closed and the hearings on Zoom, they're broadcasting them on YouTube. So now anybody can kind of chime in and watch the divorce happen. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, so one of the things I always talk with my clients about is, the privacy has always been an issue, right? So privacy in the divorce proceeding, that anybody can come into the courtroom, but now they don't even have to pay parking to see you to fight. So, a lot of my clients are interested in going ahead and settling at mediation or looking at other options like collaborative divorce that actually take you out of the courtroom.
I had no idea that was going on. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and now, divorce is already, to me, is too much in the public. The fact that it's public record and people can know about that it's even two people are going through a divorce, I don't know why that's a law, but you could probably explain why. But nevertheless, I would have to imagine, though, that not a lot of people would want their divorce and the proceedings of it and all the details of it getting out there where potentially other people could hear what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think privacy is something people really need to take into consideration. So there are a lot of other methods of going through a divorce proceeding besides going into the courtroom, and a lot of those methods are more desirable specifically because of the privacy issue, because you don't want everybody to know, what's happening. And so I think those are a lot more attractive now to people who are going through divorce. We've definitely seen an uptick in the new divorces that are being filed. So I think the quarantine has brought clarity for a lot of people in their marriage relationship. And the clarity is the marriage is over. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting times.
So let me ask you, Jennifer, are you seeing an uptick in these other methods as you discussed, like settling and mediation and all that stuff? So you're seeing that on the rise as well?
Yes, I certainly am. Of course, I'm a big proponent of collaborative divorce. I think it offers people a lot of options and a lot of flexibility and that privacy, too. But, yes, people are definitely seeming interested. Can we just get to mediation and get things resolved there? So, that is something that's important to take a look at. And another form is arbitration. So you could actually hire a private judge to help settle your issues. We don't use that as often, but it is used from time to time.
Jennifer, explain what collaborative divorce is. I don't know what that term means.
Collaborative divorce is a way of getting a divorce where the couple actually commits to not going to court. And so the way we do it here is that we have each side hires a lawyer, and together we sit around a table, like a kitchen table, and identify the issues and work out a resolution. We have other professionals. We usually have a mental health professional and a financial professional who can help problem solve the issues. But, we like it because most of my clients like it because the control they have over the process. But plus, they get a much better outcome. When you go to court and you try your divorce case, the judge has a limited amount of time, and you get to tell only, I promise, about 1/10 or 100th of the story that you want to tell. And, here's the stranger making decisions over your life. So it does put the control back in the hands of the parties.
So in the situation you're talking about, Jennifer, is each party, I missed this, I guess, each party have an attorney, or Or is it just one mediator, and as you said, maybe a health professional and a financial person?
So in a mediation, there can just be one mediator that will work with both the parties to problem solve and resolve the issues. In a collaborative divorce, they each have their own lawyer who helps them resolve the issues.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, I don't know how many of these Zoom divorces you've done, but what are some of the harder parts? I have to imagine, in a courtroom, there's your client, man or woman wants to, lean over and whisper something to you about, hey, make sure you tell them this. And it's hard to do when it's online because everybody hears everything.
Yes, that's very true. So usually my client and I will communicate via text message if they want to let me know what's going on. Zoom has a feature where you can message people. You can do the chat, the problem, and you can actually private chat in Zoom. But it's a little too tricky, and I don't ever want to take the risk that the message my client intended to send to me actually gets broadcast to the judge and everyone else. So I have them just text me, offline.
And how many emails have you sent like that? I'm thinking you're sending it to so-and-so and you're sending it to everybody.
Yeah. It definitely, right? It has definitely happened. And it's something we had to adapt to in the email era, and now we're having to get used to these new little Zoom things. But I'll tell you something else to be super mindful of when we're having these hearings. The judge can see everybody, right? And so all those little facial gestures and the looks of disgust and contempt and shock or awe are all visible. So I always have to kind of give my clients a little talk ahead of time, and even myself. I have a very expressive face. So, make sure that I'm not telling the whole story and more than with my face. So we just have to watch our expressions.
Jennifer, just describe your experiences of court in general over Zoom. My opinion and the opinion of I think a lot of people is the whole communication over Zoom is BS. It sucks, right? Because no one knows who's talking. Everybody talks at once, then no one talks, and the one guy doesn't have his microphone muted. The other guy does have his microphone muted, and it's awful. It's awful when I tried just doing it with my family of like 3 people. I couldn't imagine something that serious. Is it just describe your experiences doing it this way.
Well, I think part of my job as a lawyer is to make sure my client is well prepared. So we will definitely spend time trying to iron out the bugs before we go in front of the judge. But that is not the case with everyone. Everyone doesn't have a lawyer who spends time doing that, and some of them don't even have lawyers. So, yeah, you definitely, I'm sure it's frustrating for the judge. Ma'am, can you turn on your camera? Ma'am, I can't. Your mute's off. So, yeah, all that stuff that happens on your family calls, it also can happen in the Zoom hearings, but hopefully they've been prepped and are ready to handle it.
Excellent. All right, with that, Jennifer, we'll let you go. Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer.